let's talk about something a little radical. What if the front door to a digital space wasn't, a sneaky cookie banner, but an actual constitution? What if instead of mindlessly clicking I agree on terms of service you'll never read, you had to make a real conscious choice to walk through the door? Today, we are diving deep into exactly that idea. This is the NCAI Entry Manifest, a completely different rulebook for a digital world. Right out of the gate, the manifest hits you with this line: entry is not permission, entry is consent. Now think about that for a second. That's not just a clever slogan. It completely reframes how we think about our relationship with the online systems we use every single day. So let's start there, with that very first idea, the choice to enter. What does it actually mean to consciously step over the threshold into a place like this? Okay, so what does entry even mean here? Well, it's not just a click. It's not a mindless scroll. It's a deliberate act. It means you are intentionally engaging with this system. And this is key. You're aware that it's not neutral. It has its own rules. And by stepping inside, you're accepting responsibility for how you behave. So what do you have to hand over to get in? What's the price of admission? Here's the wild part. Almost nothing about you. There's no ID check, no demand for your demographic data. They don't even ask you to agree with their core beliefs. The only thing that matters is your intent to play by the rules. The whole focus is on your purpose, not your profile. And that whole idea of a conscious choice, well, that leads us right to the heart of the agreement. See, this manifest isn't a top-down list of rules they force on you. No, it's a balanced, two-way promise. It's a deal between you and the system itself. And here's what that deal looks like. On one side, the system makes some huge guarantees. We're talking no surveillance, no behavioral profiling, no sneaky persuasion engines trying to manipulate you, and they will never sell your identity. You are not the product here. Now, in return, what's your side of the bargain? Well, it's all about intellectual honesty. If you make a claim, you gotta have sources. You have to accept that your ideas will be challenged, you have to be okay with uncertainty, and you have to understand that truth here is a process, not a destination. This quote just nails it. It gets to the absolute core of that promise. The system is built to watch the life of an idea, where it came from, how it gets tested, how it evolves, without ever needing to know who you are. The spotlight shifts completely from the people to the information itself. So you might be wondering, okay, how does a place like this actually work without just falling into chaos? The answer is two core parts: the guardians and the arena. But honestly, to get what they are, you first have to understand what they are not. Let's be crystal clear about this. Guardians are not moderators. Not even close. They don't know you, they don't remember you, they don't have favorites, and they don't punish you. Think of them less like hall monitors and more like the laws of physics for this space. Their only job is to protect the core rules of the system, not the people inside it. And then you have the arena. Again, forget what you might be thinking. This isn't a stage for dramatic debates or a place to dunk on people. It's much more like a science lab for ideas. It is a space designed for one thing: to test claims. You don't ever have to go in there, but if you do, the goal is never to win. The goal is just to see what holds up when you apply constant pressure. Yup, that's it right there. It's a verification field, pure and simple. It's not about who has the best rhetoric or the loudest voice. It only asks one question: does this idea survive scrutiny? So this all brings us to a really, really important part of the manifest. I mean, if this whole system is built for hardcore verification, what shouldn't you come here looking for? This next bit is all about setting expectations straight. The manifest is super upfront about this. It basically forces you to ask yourself, why am I here? Because if you're looking for the kind of stuff you get on most social platforms, well, you're in for a surprise. So let's be blunt about it. What won't you find here? Here we go. You are not going to find validation, that pat on the back that says you're right. You're not going to find the comfort of an echo chamber. This place is not designed to build consensus. You won't get rewarded just for showing up. And this one is huge. Nothing you say is immune from being contradicted. And every single one of those absences, it's a feature, not a bug. And that really just says it all. You can think of NCAI as a crucible. Its job isn't to nod along and tell you you're smart. Its one and only purpose is to apply pressure to every idea and see what's left standing at the end. And this leads us to the very end of the manifest, which beautifully circles right back to the beginning. It's about the promises that bookend this entire agreement, called the first and last promise. So remember that conscious choice you made to enter? Well, it's perfectly balanced by your absolute freedom to leave. Anytime, for any reason, you can just exit. Silently. No questions asked. And you're always welcome to come back. Your personal freedom is the highest priority, from the very first moment to the very last. But hold on. What stops the system from just changing the rules on you later? You know, the classic bait and switch. That's where the ultimate failsafe kicks in. It's called the canonical clause. This is the system's unbreakable promise that the contract won't change out from under you. The manifest states, point blank, that its own principles override anything that might contradict them later on. So this document isn't just a welcome mat. It's the unchangeable Constitution. It is the very first promise they make to you, and it's your absolute last line of defense. Which leaves us with this final, massive question to think about. In a digital world that is almost entirely built on getting validation, on finding comfort, on manufacturing consensus, what is the point of a system that's designed for the exact opposite? What can you actually build on a foundation of rigorous, impersonal, and never-ending verification? Well, that is the challenge and the promise of the Unkai Manifest.